Welcome back to the channel and happy Revenge of the 5th to you all. We are the Whiskey Watchers. I'm Dan.
I'm Jake.
And today we're celebrating
The Sith. Oh, wait, no.
we are, kind of.
In a way.
But we're also celebrating the entirety of the Star Wars movie saga as a whole.
The
just in a little bit
Skywalker
more of a condensed
saga. Yeah, I mean, in a way, we're going to celebrate some characters. We're going to talk about them. We're going to compare them to other things. You'll see. You'll see.
Yep.
We're blending sides today. We're doing infotainment.
Yeah. But before we get to the infotainment, I invite you to go down to the comment section, leave a comment. Who's your favorite Star Wars character in each of these series, micro-series, trilogies? Trilogies. And also hit that like and subscribe button. Help us get to the goal of 100 so Jake can get his Infinity Glen. Yes. And if we've already made it by this point, well, thank you so much for all of your support. Our next goal is 500. And at 500, you know what we're going to do, Jake?
Infinity bottle.
Infinity bottle.
Barrel?
Barrel maybe later.
Infinity barrel?
But yeah, we'll create an infinity bottle, or tell you what, at 500, I've been saving this. I have this 11-year Willet. We're going to open this 11-year Willet, and we're going to review it for people.
Yeah, while we blend. It's going in.
It's going to be awesome. Anyway, so today on the channel, we're going to be going through a few of our favorite characters from the prequels, OG trilogy, and the sequels, and matching them up to whiskeys that we think define their character traits, their purpose in the movies, what have you. So we're going to start with the prequels.
Yes.
And Jake, you want to start it up?
Prequels.
Get it going.
I have a little bit of something here.
So who are you talking about?
Prequels,
first?
Anakin.
Okay.
A little bit misunderstood, kind of out of his depth, and yet is one of the heaviest hitters in the prequels, which is weird considering how out of depth he is in it starting out, and now is becoming one of the best things,
at least in our world.
Yeah,
because I mean, let's face it. We have here. Did you already tell them what we have?
This is Hard Truth Chocolate Malted Rye, an Indiana distillery who has personally the best rye on the market. I have tried so many ryes. I hate so many ryes.
But this is one you can get behind.
I will buy this all the time compared to any other rye in the market.
So, little known distillery, but still being very impactful in the world.
Dude, they're becoming more than a little distillery right now. We've been up there, you know.
Well, we're going back up there in a couple
tomorrow,
weeks.
Right.
Oh, wait. Yeah, like...
There's Revenge of the 5th, dude. This is tomorrow now. Hello, Jake, watching this in like 2 weeks' time.
Actually, Revenge of the Sith, we're going to Comic-Con tomorrow.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
We'll be at Comic-Con.
I'll be well, I won't be talking to you. I'll be meeting. Well, I probably won't even be meeting because their autographs are expensive. The Star Wars, the Clone Wars animated cast, the voice actors will be there.
Yep.
You can get a picture with all of them for like $360, but I don't have that kind of money just lying about. So
yeah, you know, I might treat you to a birthday present.
No, it's expensive.
Anyway,
and you have to pre-order those autographs.
Yeah.
You have to pre-order those pictures.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be at Indiana Comic-Con. If any of you are up there, recognize us.
I will wear this exact shirt unless it's hot.
We'll be wearing the Star Wars shirts.
If not, you'll see me in a shirt from yesterday.
So anyway, we'll be up there. If you notice us, well, holler at us.
Holler at your boy.
So your prequel is Anakin Skywalker being represented by Hard Truth Distilling Company's Chocolate Malted Rye. And mine is actually one that has a little bit more of a character arc throughout the Star Wars movie saga.
Lay it up here. Let's soapbox it.
We're talking about Boba Fett. And I have to represent Boba Fett, the old benchmark foolproof here. So Boba Fett to me in the prequels is young, brash, a little bit, he's youthful, but he's on the right track to becoming one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy.
Trained by one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy.
Jango Fett.
Yeah, baby.
And later, you know, a lot of crime syndicates and everything.
Sometimes as a teenager, he was the leader of those crime syndicates, dude.
Yeah. So we're going to pour up a little benchmark foolproof here. And, you know, he just needed some years and some experience to come into, you know, what he could be and what he is by Return of the Jedi and the Book of Boba Fett. You know, Boba Fett, the real deal, you know.
I can't even say that's Book of Boba Fett. Boba Fett. That might be Book of Boba Fett. That's not Mandalorian Boba Fett because Mandalorian Boba Fett. Nice shot. I was aiming for the other one.
But yeah, it just needs some time to become what he could be. So yeah, that was kind of an easy one for me, really.
Oh, my OG trilogy was an easy one for me. That was my ha 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 ha.
Your ha 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 moment.
Yeah. Well, actually, it wasn't. My sequel one was the immediate one. I was like, yes. And I don't even like those movies that much.
So what going into the OG trilogy?
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Here we go. You okay, buddy?
It's like if Starbucks made whiskey.
Please don't do that, Starbucks.
Please do. If you can get this, partner with Hard Truth.
Anyway, OG trilogy.
OG trilogy is my R2-D2 Woodford batch proof. Not as hyped as it should be. Kind of hangs out in the background a lot, but arguably has some of the most important information throughout the entire trilogy from the beginning. Like, the first time you see R2-D2, what's he got? Oh, look at that. The Death Star plans. Oh, we're going to lead ourselves into the desert on a little adventure. Oh, I'm just going to hang out here on this shelf on a little adventure.
At least
I will ruin you if you ever try anything.
At least around us, Woodford batch proof seems to be a little bit more prevalent on shelves. It kind of sits there unappreciated, much like R2 in much of the movies. I mean, if you think about it, our actual first look at him in the prequels, he was saving Padme Amidala's ship.
Yep.
He was just a repair droid, basically. And he turned into one of the most iconic droids in the Star Wars universe. And speaking of iconic droids in the Star Wars universe,
yes.
We're going to keep this up here because he has a cohort.
Oh, he does have a cohort.
He has a cohort in the
with a silver arm, and then later red, but originally gold.
In the form of C-3PO, human cyborg relations. And to me, C-3PO is a lot like Blanton's.
Yeah.
I know that seems really weird.
No, to me, I get it.
C-3PO, even though he can speak so many different languages, is so useful. A lot of the OG, like really hardcore Star Wars fans seem to think he's a little overrated.
Much like hardcore bourbon fans.
Much like hardcore bourbon fans. You know, we keep it around. We introduce people to a lot of really like higher tier bourbons.
And much like Blanton's, the newbie to droids, Jabba the Hutt, loved him.
Yep, absolutely loved him.
Was his translator, literally stood next to him the whole day.
The almighty Jabba.
Just waiting. And then later was a god.
Yeah, he was worshipped as a god, which,
by
I mean,
the newbies.
You should see all of the lines around here for Blanton's.
I know two guys who really love Blanton's.
Shout out Aaron Nelson. If you're watching this, buddy.
ALB, baby!
Love you. Anyway, so...
And Ramon.
And Ramon. God, don't call us out. Anyway.
Call me out, Ramon. I'll do it.
So, that was the original trilogy.
That was.
Now we're getting to...
The
sequels.
The ones that you and I were not huge fans of.
We were not nice to those yesterday.
I'm never... It's sad to say it, but those movies were just...
a miss. Just giant miss.
I feel like they were rushed. Like, they should have taken some time and really sat down with George Lucas.
Yeah. Who already had scripts and ideas.
Yeah, he was like, here you go. And they're like, no.
And they looked at it and went, basically like, Luke Skywalker and his lightsaber. Whatever.
Right into the trash bin.
Anyway, who's your character for
my character
the sequels?
Is one that was built up so big in episode 7. It could have been amazing. But then they just kind of threw him off to the wayside. Like, yeah, we'll get to it. Finn, the clone trooper who should have turned Jedi, but just literally turned into a background character after episode 7, was just in the background going, Rye! The entire... Ooh, I popped my neck. That was nice. Rye! The entire time.
That's Rock Hill Farms.
That is Rock Hill Farms.
So why represent a character that had so much hype and yet so little payoff with Rock Hill Farms?
So, if you've listened to our podcast, I've reviewed this before. I did research on this before. I know for a fact that this was introduced in 1990, named for the literal farm right next door called Rock Hill Farms, and that's it. End. That's all. I can't even remember who made this. I was so pissed off at
It's
it.
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace. That's what Buffalo Trace decided. No, we'll name it for this farm here, and then give no backstory at all. Try Googling it. Try figuring it out. It's not there. Just like Finn's presence in the rest of the movies. Could have been great. Kind of threw it off to the wayside and focused on other things. Unfortunate, because Finn, if he would have turned
Finn could have been
Jedi
good.
and gotten trained,
Yeah, Finn
he
could
would have been
good.
he would have been my favorite character.
Now to say, okay, I hope to God they learned from their mistake, because they're bringing Daisy Ridley back.
They should bring. Finn's gonna be a Jedi finally, dude. If they do,
Hopefully,
I pray.
this is what I'm hoping. So, anyway,
I'll step off my soapbox now.
Oh no,
you can take over.
My sequel character is one that could have easily been put into the original trilogy, but I decided to leave him for the sequels. Han freaking Solo.
Old man Han.
Old man Han.
Old man Han. Imagine saying that out loud. You know, somebody on the rebellion was like, "Oh, here comes old man Han." God, get him off my back.
So,
Oh, look, hey, Chewie.
by the time he
Same guy.
By the time he had, gotten into the sequel trilogy, rough, gruff.
Had a kid.
He had lost the Millennium Falcon.
Had lost a son.
Had lost a son, and the bottle I choose to portray him with is actually it's not as tragic, but it's actually the original Master's Keep.
Yeah, we don't have like a tornado survivor or anything. That would be pretty tragic.
So Wild Turkey 17 year it has all those really nice aged notes to it. The whiskey in the glass, more so than the story behind the bottle, to me represents Old Man Han. He's been through a lot. 17 years in a barrel. He's been molded by that barrel, molded by circumstances of,
I mean, this
rain,
is too high proof to
snow.
mold. But
No, this is only.
I meant in the barrel. It was too high proof to mold.
Oh yeah, I mean this is 86.8 proof.
What the
Yeah.
Why? Well, I get why. Because, I mean, if you did,
But-
you're going to have, like, in the bottom.
Yeah, but
And be able to pick it up and go,
yeah, at that time, he's very rough. He's like, "How did you get this ship?"
Old Man Han, I think, was the most tragic character in the new trilogy. I think he got the worst.
He got the short end
second
of the
most
stick, and I'm wondering if that isn't
of the
because
main
of
characters.
Harrison. I'm wondering if it isn't just Harrison Ford saying, "Hey, will you
Listen.
please just kill me?"
He's wanted it since episode 6. So,
And what more noble of a way to do that than to sacrifice yourself trying to return your son to his former self?
because, there's that theory that he pulled the lightsaber and not his son.
Yeah, that he flipped it on.
Took his own life to save his son from turning to the dark side.
Yep.
Because, I mean, Ben was still there.
Yep.
If he'd killed his dad, I doubt Ben would have came back in episode 9.
Yeah. So
I could go on about this all day. So
I know we could.
Yep.
So kind of a whiskey episode, kind of a pop culture episode. Rather
We're blending,
short, too.
baby.
We're blending the two. It's kind of nice. But
And we're drinking.
so I do have one more that has to kind of be done, and I want to do it on the fly with you.
Okay.
Darth Vader.
Ooh, okay.
So we have a lot of bottles around here. How would you perceive Darth Vader?
Ooh.
Because to me,
The be all end all.
Darth Vader is OG George T. Stagg.
That is you're going to want it. You're going to want more of it. You're going to wish you had more of it. And right about the time you want more of it, it's gone. And then it takes you 40 years later and you finally get more of it. Darth Vader.
Darth Vader for you? Okay. So,
Sorry, 30 years. But still, I mean, between episode 6 and episode 3, that was a lot of years to not see the Vader suit.
True.
And everybody wanted it. You know they did.
So, my Darth Vader bottle.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, that shit will knock your lights out.
Do my
One
Macho
little
Man Randy
swing.
Savage thing. Oh, yeah.
Cream always rises
cream
top.
always rises to the top, Mean Gene. We're actually going to do...
Was that Joseph Magnus cigar blend back there?
It is.
Oh
But
my gosh.
I'm going to do Blood Oath.
Makes sense.
It does make sense because, the name, just the name of the bottle implies the oath he took to Palpatine after he betrayed the Jedi Order.
I mean,
He was put into a secondary suit to keep him alive. This is a finished product.
killed a man.
He killed a man.
One of his own. Pushed him out a window.
Yeah. Well,
Still not technically confirmed dead, but...
well, Palpatine killed Mace.
Not technically confirmed dead.
Not technically, but
I mean...
we haven't seen Samuel L. Jackson back in the Star Wars universe since.
I'd love to see it.
I would too.
I mean, Anakin got a bionic hand.
So...
2 of them.
So these are our picks for not only the entirety of the series, but for probably the most iconic villain in the universe, Darth Vader.
Has one of
agree?
the most iconic themes ever.
Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would you have put up here in place of any of these bottles or any of these characters? We'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. Again, please feel free to... You're mixing? Please feel free to go down to the comments below. Let us know what you think. Hit that like and subscribe button. Help us to get to that 100 subscriber mark so we can enjoy the Infinity Blend. Infinity Glen, actually. And yeah, until next time, everyone. Just like yesterday, I'm not going to give you the normal sign off. All I'm going to say is thank you for joining us. And happy Revenge of the 5th, everyone, until we drink again.